my goodness, welcome back. I'm going to be starting kind of like a new series called 5 Things to Know About Insert Deck List. And we're going to be starting with some of the meta ones. And so today is going to be 5 things to know about the Ritual of Light and Darkness deck. My goal for this series is if you are learning the deck to try to maybe let you know some stuff, maybe like little tips and tricks, but also if you are going to be playing against the deck and just some things to look out for to know, so that way you might have a better matchup, a better time playing into some of these decks. So here are 5 things to know about Rolad. Let's get into it. 1. The Magician of Black Chaos protects the player's spells from banishment and destruction, meaning if you try to Fallen in the Virtuous, the Mind Shuffle while the Magician of Black Chaos is out, you will not be able to do that. However, you can return any of the spells traps to hand. So let's say a very common thing when playing against Rolad, or even if you're playing Rolad, is Mind Shuffle. You either want to get rid of it or you want to make sure you get it established on your board. So trying to get rid of Mind Shuffle when they have the Magician of Black Chaos out is basically impossible, because that card is protecting all of their spells and traps from destruction. So one way you could do it is if you have any way of returning it to hand. So if Mind Shuffle is face up on the field and you Harmonia send them along, you can Malong send it back to hand. I do believe it can only be activated once per turn as well. So if you already wait for them to activate the effect and then you Mind Shuffle it, there you go. Your mind no longer has to be shuffled. Number 2, on the topic of the Mind Shuffle effect, you cannot, and it says this on the card, you cannot activate the effects of Mind Shuffle on the same chain, meaning Mind Shuffle has 2 effects. The first effect of Mind Shuffle is the search effect, which is the first time I ever heard of Rolad. The advice I was given was Ash Blossom, the Mind Shuffle, right? You have the search effect of Rolad. The second effect of Mind Shuffle is to return a level 7 or higher monster to your hand, and then you can, ignoring the summoning conditions, special summon a monster that mentions Light and Darkness, Ritual of Light and Darkness on it. Those 2 effects cannot happen in the same chain. So, meaning if the Rolad player does Mind Shuffle, effect to search, and then you try to do some effect to destroy, pop, return to hand, target one of their monsters, one of their level 7 or higher monsters, they cannot chain Mind Shuffle to bounce it back to hand, because Mind Shuffle is already on the chain for the search. So it's very important to keep an eye out for that they cannot, if you are playing with Mind Shuffle, you cannot activate the effect to search and the effect do the bounce and the shuffle. You can't do the shuffle on the same chain. Those effects have to happen on separate chains. Number 3, still about Mind Shuffle. Sorry guys, there's a lot to talk about Mind Shuffle, but important to note that Mind Shuffle returns for cost. So let's say they have the Magician of Black Chaos out and they activate Mind Shuffle, returning Magician of Black Chaos for cost of Mind Shuffle. That Mind Shuffle is no longer protected. Ghost Ogre it. Ghost Ogre it right now, because it is no longer protected once the Magician of Black Chaos is no longer on the field. Mind Shuffle returns for cost, and there is room after that return. So if they activate Mind Shuffle to do the shuffle, they need to return the card to their hand for cost, and then you can interact. And if they returned the thing that was protecting the Mind Shuffle, blow it up. Blow it up. Number 4, Black Luster and Black Chaos are unaffected unless you target them. I feel like this is very backwards in my learning of Yu-Gi-Oh! I have only encountered monsters that when it says unaffected, it means that they can't be targeted, but so like everything else affects them. But if you're targeting, it doesn't affect them. This is the opposite. These 2 stars of Rolad are unaffected unless they are specifically targeted. Here's a list of stuff that you might be playing or that you might have seen that doesn't target, that you've probably I never thought about the fact that these things don't target until I couldn't use them against these 2 cards. Harmonia does not target to destroy, so you are unable to destroy these cards with the Harmonia effect. Blitzclick Daddy Whisker, that effect to special and then destroy, doesn't target. Teller of the Fairy Tales, my favorite Omni Negate and Destruction, doesn't target. So you can't chain Teller the Fairy Tales to the activation of one of these monsters to like non-target banish your stuff to negate it because it's unaffected because Teller does not target. Forbidden Crown does not target, and neither does Forbidden Droplets. Leave in the comments other things that don't target that people might be playing with so they can remember to not try to chain that in response to anything that these two cards are doing. If it doesn't say target, they're unaffected. So you need to choose things that target in order to attempt to get rid of these while remembering, and this is what makes the deck, that's what I'm saying the mind shuffle needs to get dealt with. Okay, cool, you found something to target to destroy. If mind shuffle is still up, they can evade the target by mind shuffling, which is why I'm saying you want to try to figure out how to get rid of the mind shuffle as fast as possible. And number 5, Black Chaos is unaffected by everything. He is an unbothered, unaffected king if there is any ritual spell engraved. Any. Mitsurugi, Ritual of Light and Darkness, a random one. Like it literally, if there is a ritual spell in the graveyard of the player who has the Black Chaos out on that board, that Black Chaos, unaffected. Unaffected by all of it. So it doesn't matter if you target, it doesn't matter if you don't target, it doesn't matter if you talk nicely to it, it doesn't matter if you insult it. The Black Chaos is unaffected if there is a ritual spell in grave. So if you're trying to deal with the Black Chaos on board, please make sure that it'll just fan out their graveyard and go, there's a ritual spell. Try to get rid of that, or wait for them to shuffle it back into their deck or add it back to hand or do something where there's no longer a ritual spell so you can deal with it. I'm already breaking my rules. I said 5, but my boyfriend who's been playing Rolad gave me a 6th thing to share because this was something that he did not immediately realize when he was playing the deck, and he had said, he's like, I think I made some illegal plays while doing this, and he's the one reading the cards. So if you're playing against Rolad, it would make sense that you wouldn't know this because I feel like, well, him as a Rolad player, he didn't know this at first, and now he does. I'm sharing it with you. A bonus. Number 6. Skull Archfiend can only search ritual monsters. Meaning, because this is how he had played it, I think a few times before he caught it and was like, ooh, I was doing that wrong. Skull Archfiend can't search Griffo. Griffo is not a ritual monster. Skull Archfiend can only search ritual monsters, so make sure to watch for what they search off of Skull Archfiend, and if it is this adorable little guy, time to show off my Starlight Griffo that I pulled. I got one of those small boxes from Barnes & Noble, and before sitting down to open it, my boyfriend was like, what do you want to pull? And I was like, I just want a Starlight Griffo. I'm flipping through the cards, and I see that new, shiny, pretty foiling, and guess what it was? It was a Starlight Griffo. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? Like, how often are you like, this is what I want in life? And then you get it. Skull Archfiend. Skull Archfiend can't search this. So now we all know. I hope this was helpful. I currently have my list of 5 things to know about certain archetypes that I'm compiling. If there is a deck that you play that you feel like there's stuff people should know about it, or a deck that you feel you're gonna be playing against or you do play against, and you're like, give me a lowdown of what are some things that I should know about this deck, let me know in the comments. And if there's other things you think people should know about Rolad, let us know. Share the information as we are heading into Chaos Origin regional season, so that way we can all be prepared to have our mind shuffled. Playing against that deck makes me feel a certain way. Anyway, yeah. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back for more 5 things to know about. Alphonse, you want to say bye? Come here. Come here. Oh, Alphonse says bye. He wants to play Rolad, but I think he's going to be playing Pure Mitsu for Chaos Origin. He will be playing 3 copies of Habakiri because he said that the ban list doesn't affect him, and only Konami can try to stop him. So his words, not mine. Okay, catch you on the next one.